Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. Now, as you saw in the thumbnail, this is going to be a pickups video. Now, I meant to do this video a few weeks ago to show you some of the things that I've picked up, because I've picked up quite a few bits and bobs recently, which I think is worth showing you guys. But also I went to Echo Base Live on Saturday. I met up with some awesome people, some really good friends, some new friends that I've met, some people from the community, other YouTubers, all that kind of stuff. I had a great day on the Saturday, and I did really well for once. So often when I go to these events like Echo Live, I always go there with the intention of, you know, looking for something that I really want. And often I come back empty-handed, or I often just come back with a few little bits and bobs that maybe I didn't even want. But this time was very, very fruitful, and I've got lots of stuff to show you. So first of all, we're going to be looking at the stuff that I picked up from Echo Live, and then I'm going to be looking at the stuff that I picked up over the couple of weeks beforehand. And in that, we've got vintage Star Wars, we've got modern Star Wars, and we've even got some graded comics, all the way from America, from my good buddy Action Figure Grader, and these are well worth taking a look at, so stick around for that. So first off, in front of you here are 3 items that I picked up. So first of all, these 2 items here, these are for my son, Little Bossk. He's already had them. This was a carded Cara Dune, because basically he did have that figure, but kids being kids, he had lost her, and with all the other Mandalorian figures that have come out recently, like Bo-Katan and things like that, he really needed another Cara Dune. So I paid a little bit more than I'd like for this one, because she is one of those figures that's become, you know, I guess hard to get hold of, or people overcharge for her. But that's fine, you know, he needed her in his collection, so we got that for him. I also managed to get this Max Rebo plushie thing, I guess you could call it that, which also does make some music. Which I thought was pretty cool, and he loves that, so that's awesome. There you go. Right, so we'll just get those 2 things out of the way for the moment. So those are the 2 things for Little Bossk. The Jar Jar Binks I picked up from my good buddy Mark. He's selling a lot of his sort of modern stuff, concentrating on the vintage, and this is a lovely example of an unpunched Jar Jar Binks. It's one of those ones that I've just left because it wasn't really something that I, you know, was really sort of looking to get in my collection. But I guess if you're going to be collecting the carded vintage collection, then you might as well get them all, right? So this one is VC 108. He commands quite a bit on the secondary market now. I think, you know, he goes for north of £100. So I didn't pay that much for him. He gave me a good deal on him, and yeah, mint unpunched, really nice condition, so I'm really happy with that. So thanks for that, Mark. Next up are some Black Series 3.75 inch figures. Now, the reason I got these 2 is because I don't have these figures loose, and they are actually in the vintage collection as well. So you've got Bastilla Shan, and you have Dak Ralter, or Ralter, however you want to say that. 2 really nice figures, and classically, as always, you can see that the bubbles are falling off the cards. So these were super cheap. Now, I was rummaging around in a box under somebody's stall, and I found those 2. And while I was asking him, you know, how much do you want for those 2, I also found this one in there, which is Pablo Gil. Now, this figure is available in this packaging, the Black Series 3.75, but also it came out in the Legacy collection, I think, the cancelled Legacy collection. So it commands quite a high price, this one. You know, even getting this figure loose, I think it's about £30 maybe. And I asked him how much he wanted for all 3, and he wanted £20 for all 3, which is brilliant. So I'm going to be opening all of those in one of my opening figures videos, where Little Bossk helps me open the figures. And yeah, I can't wait for this one, because obviously we've just got Mace Windu re-released and what have you, so he's going to go pretty well with that one. Right there, so this is something a little bit different. I actually pre-ordered this to be picked up at Echo Live. It's a guy called David Atkins, I want to say. He's in some of the Facebook groups. If I can find the Facebook group that he's in, I will link it in the description below. But basically, he makes these light up signs, and some of them say things like Tatooine and things like that on them. Now, of course, I thought one of these would look pretty awesome if it's like behind me on live streams and things like that. So I sent him my logo, and within a day, he literally posted back on the group that he'd made it already. Now, it is really, really great value, £20. I thought that was brilliant. So let me just turn the lights off and see if we can see it in action. So there you have it. Obviously, I went with the green for the logo. Now, you can't have sort of dual colours in there, so I couldn't have the green and the yellow, but just the green. And I thought that was really, really cool. And I just couldn't believe, you know, how much value was in that. £20, I thought was an absolute bargain. It gets powered by USB. And I thought, as I say, that'll look pretty cool on live streams in the background in my room. I also managed to pick up this Wampa set super cheap from the same guy that I bought the Max Rebo plushie for my son. I think I bought both of those for £20, I think it was, which is, again, a bargain. Now, I know these were in the Entertainer for about £11 at some point, and I did buy one back then, but I gave the Wampa to my son and left myself without a Wampa. And this Wampa is fantastic. It really is good. Loads of articulation and everything on him, even though he is like the Force Link one. He really does have some good articulation. The Luke isn't so good, but the Wampa is brilliant. So I'm going to open that up so I can have that Wampa in my collection and in my display. So yeah, very happy with that. All right then, so 3 more items that I managed to pick up from Echo, and then we'll move on to the other stuff that I've managed to pick up over the last few weeks. And there's some big items in here that I'm really, really pleased with. Now, the first thing is that I have now completed my full run of vintage figures. So I'm really, really happy with that. For some reason, I left Reese till last. I mean, he is like a super cheap figure. I managed to pick him up for, I think it was 12, 14 pounds, something like that. With the weapon, I thought that was a pretty good deal. Nice stiff limbs, no paint loss on the hands or on the legs or anything like that. So very happy with that. And the one that I deliberately left till last is Yak Face. And a couple of reasons for that is because 1, he's expensive, and 2 was because I was never really into this figure as a kid. I never had it as a kid. And it was, yeah, it's just, I didn't really think even back then that it really fitted in with Star Wars particularly, but he always looked a bit odd. But there you go, Yak Face. If you're going to finish the whole run of 96 figures, 97 if you count Blue Snaggletooth, then you need a Yak Face. And he didn't come with his staff, but my buddy Luke from Reynolds Reviews has already offered to send me one of those. He has one spare, which is brilliant. So thank you so much for that, Luke, in advance. But yeah, he is in great condition. Often the torso is discoloured, which this one isn't. And often he has paint rubs on his hands and his feet. And again, it hasn't. This is a really, really nice one. So I'm very happy with that. The prices people were asking for these was bordering on ridiculous. I went to one stall and they had a mint one that they said was mint. And they wanted £400 for it. And absolute madness. I got this one for a lot less than £400, believe me. And I consider this one to be mint. So very, very happy with that. So that's the loose run. And now on to the final item and the best item that I picked up from Echo. And here it is. It is a Bossk MOC mint on card. This is a graded item. It's been graded 80% by UKG. It's a 48 back. If we have a look there, the 48 back. It's unpunched. It is just a beautiful, beautiful item. I'm in love with it. I'm so happy to have this. I paid a deposit on this before and met the guy there. So, you know, because I've got to say, when I was walking around Echo, I saw one other Bossk, and that was a Return of the Jedi one with a yellowed bubble. Whenever I go to these things, their Bosks never really seem to be there, which is, you know, it's a bit odd because obviously it's not really a rare MOC as such. You know, there's loads of them around, but to get one in this nice condition, I'm very, very happy with it. And I'll throw a picture up of me looking really, really happy with it that my buddy Sai took of me at the event. I'll put that on the screen now. You can see that I'm pretty pleased with it. But this is now my 6th Bossk MOC. I have a Palatoy one or 2 Palatoy ones. I have the Tri logo. I have a Return of the Jedi. And I think I've decided that basically I'm really going to focus on Bossk now. I may even sell all of my other MOCs that I have to fund getting as many of these as I can. I want all the different backs with all the offer stickers and things like that. So if you know anyone that is selling a Bossk MOC, let me know, because I could well be interested. And you know, you never know, I might have something to trade that they want. I've got some various mint on card items myself. So there you go, that's what I picked up from Echo. I'm sure you agree I did pretty well this time. You know, I managed to finish my loose run. I managed to pick up a new Bossk MOC. I managed to pick up some stuff for my son. I managed to pick up a vintage collection figure that I needed from the TVC 1.0 and some loose figures as well to do in openings for you guys, which is pretty cool. I think I got a bargain on that Pablo Gil. I really did. That was awesome picking that up. So I'm going to put Bossk away now, and we're going to take a look at some of the other stuff that I've managed to pick up over the last few weeks and maybe even a month. Right, first things first is that you've probably seen these already, but they've actually come back from the graders. So this being a miss card, I really wanted to get this graded. So this is the Off-World Jawa and Echo miss card, and this one got a 90 gold. Very, very happy with that. Really, really cool miss card. I think quite a few people have got this one. It's a pretty common miss card. I know of at least 12 of them are out there basically. My friend John from the Action Figure Grader, he has one of these as well. So, really nice item, and had to get it graded. And as I say, came back with a 90 gold, which I'm really, really happy with. The other thing that came back from the graders is my alternate image Return of the Jedi Yoda. This one is a 77 back, unpunched, and this came back with a yellow 85. Obviously, the bubble is yellow. They're often yellow, these ones. Very, very difficult to get this Yoda on that card without a yellow bubble. Near on impossible. I've hardly ever seen them. It got a 85 for the card, 85 for the bubble, and figure got a 90. So that got a yellow 85. So I picked this up from an auction house. We're talking 3 or 4 months ago now. I think I showed it on the channel, but obviously it's been away for grading, and it came back with a really, really nice score that I'm happy with. So that's awesome. Next up is another figure for my Bossk Focus, and this is one that I've been after for a very, very long time. In fact, I think this was on my sort of want list for 2021, which I didn't manage to pick up. But now in 2022, I've managed to pick this one up. I got this one from the Echo Base Variants Facebook group. A guy that sells a lot of Spanish variants, and this is the PBP Spanish Fat Lips Bossk. You can see that or Lipstick Bossk, which some people call him. You can really see there that the paint on his lips is a lot thicker than usual, and that is this is the Spanish PBP. It's not as rare and as expensive as the Toxic Limbs Bossk, which again my friend Action Figure Grader has got, but it's still one that you need for the collection if you're doing a run of a Bossk Focus. Very, very slight paint loss on the one toe and on the thumb there, but apart from that, he's in really, really good condition, really stiff limbs, so I'm really happy with him. Few little marks on the back, but it's very, very difficult to get one of these in decent condition, but still, once again, it was something that I needed for my Bossk Focus, and I'm just glad to have it in the collection. Okay then, so the next thing that I have to show you is a lightsaber, like a NeoPixel lightsaber, I think they're called. This one's from a company called Corbanth. I think they're a pretty famous or well-known lightsaber company, custom lightsaber company. And there it is in there. I've already had it out and had a little play with it, but I'm going to do a full review of this on the channel, which will be something a bit different for my channel. It's Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber from Attack of the Clones, but it being a NeoPixel lightsaber, it can play loads of different sounds from all different characters, and it lights up all different colors and things like that, which is awesome. But as I say, I don't claim to be any type of expert with these lightsabers at all, but I'm going to do my best to review it and show it you guys, see what you think. I've always wanted one of these, so it's going to be a pretty cool, as I say, different for my channel, so I hope you guys tune in for that one. Alright, so I'm going to do my very best with the glare with these, because these are graded comics, and this is the last thing that I have to show you. I've got 5 of these to show you. Now, I was lucky enough, or fortunate enough, to, back in 2015, I think it was, when the Marvel Star Wars comics started back up again, I was really into them. And I bought lots of different series, like the Han Solo series and the Vader series, the Kanan series. I bought them all, and I read them all. I bought them for the purpose of reading. I had no clue about value or anything like that, but since watching the Action Figure Grader channel and his comic updates, it became apparent that I had some pretty good, like what's called key issues, which is great. So he was very kind enough for me to send them all to him to then send off to CGC to be graded, and I'm just going to show you a bunch of them now that have come back with the best scores and the ones that are the best sort of key issues. So first off, we have the Kanan, the Last Padawan #1. Now, this is the first appearance of Kanan, Ezra, Chopper, Hera, and Sabine Wren and Zeb. Although I do believe that it's now being reclassified as their sort of first cameo appearance, and a later edition of Kanan is when you actually get their full appearance. But still, apparently it's a notable book, and it got a 9.8, which is brilliant, because, of course, if you're talking about value, then that's going to instantly put up the value from being a book that's not graded. So very, very happy for that one to get a 9.8. And then we have Kanan number 12. I did have Kanan number 6 as well, which is another key issue, I believe. But that one only got a 9.6. So I thought I'd only show you the 9.8s in this video. So this is Kanan number 12, as I mentioned. And this is where you get all of the crew on the cover, which is pretty awesome. So again, a fairly notable edition or book. And, you know, my friend John, Action Figure Grader, will be able to tell you a little bit more about why this comic's a key issue. But there you go, happy for that to get a 9.8 as well. So now we have Darth Vader number 3, and this is the first appearance of Dr. Aphra, and it also has her on the cover, which is great. I think it's the first appearance of her 2 droids as well, which is brilliant. And I've always kind of known that this book was sought after, because I remember when I bought it and then I was looking on eBay and it was already going for, you know, a fair amount of money. So I've got a feeling this one will go up even higher once she becomes a live action character, which I'm sure Disney will do eventually. They're definitely going to make her a live action character. It's inevitable. So there you go. That one got a 9.8. Darth Vader number 3. Really, really happy with that one. And yeah, there you go. Next up, we have Star Wars number 4. Now, the reason I wanted to get this one done was it's because it's the Boba Fett variant cover for John Tyler Christopher. I collect all of these covers, all of John Tyler Christopher's action figure variant covers, and there's loads of them now. I think there's over 100. This one, I'm pretty sure, was a exclusive to his website. There's probably only maybe 3,000 copies of these around, even less graded, and it got a 9.8, which again is a great score, pretty much the highest score you're going to get from a comic. So very, very happy with that one. I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's a key issue with any sort of first appearances or anything. It doesn't really say anything up there, but still, it's Fett and it looks cool. What a great piece of artwork that is. Just absolutely fantastic. So I wanted to get that one graded. And finally, this one was a gift from John, the Action Figure Grader. So thank you so much for this, my friend. Look at that cover. What a fantastic cover that is. So this is Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 11, but it was all about the cover. And yeah, he just kindly gifted this to me and sent it with all the others. I did send him some books as well for his collection, which he's now had back from the graders, which all got some great scores. So I'm really pleased for you, mate. That's what it's all about, isn't it? But thank you so much for that, mate. Really appreciate it. What a fantastic image of Bossk that is. So that's going to go great in the collection. Alright then, folks, that's it for this video. I just wanted to show you some of the things that I've picked up, particularly from Echo Base Live, and I want to thank everybody that I met that weekend. I had a really good time meeting some older friends, meeting some new friends, people I'd never met before, only spoken to them online, and also to the people that recognised me from my videos, fans of the channel. It was great meeting you all. So I just had a really, really good weekend, and I think I did pretty well for once in terms of the pickups. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Keep watching the videos on the channel, and we shall see you on the next one.